Hi and welcome back to the Kingdom of Sweden and this storytelling role-playing let's play as King Starkadr of House Korp. Storytelling means that I am developing my character and the characters around him with storytelling parts that I write and have them roll across the screen. They add depth and flavor to the flavor that's already in the game. There's really no way to explain it how that is done in a short way, so you just have to watch an episode or two to get the hang of it. Role-playing means that I'm basing my decisions, both regarding events and political stuff, wars and diplomacy and such, on my character's traits, but also on the personality I develop for him during the storytelling, so he's just not a cynical, gluttonous, an impatient man. He's got more depth and flavor and thought put into him than that. But that being said, I always take the traits that the game gives him into consideration and mold him from that. So this is the base, and then there's the topping on. If this was a cake, this would be the bread part, and then there's cream and strawberries and stuff on top. That's how I like to see it anyway. So we are at peace for a short while. There are wars we can do, but I just spent, in between episodes here, I spent a lot of gold and a lot of prestige to build buildings and increase the size of my men-at-arms regiments here, to give us a little bit of more oomph when we go do those big wars that I'm sure are coming in the future. So for now I was thinking we should get some more gold together by go raiding. It looks like England is at war. Maybe we should go raid them. Oh, Flanders is at war with France. Looks kind of even. France with England on its side is going to beat Flanders here, but maybe we shall see about giving Flanders a bit of a helping hand. Not that but we will benefit from the situation here being destabilized. So let's send our raiders to France or England to make this war with Flanders drag out a little bit longer. And while our raiding party is gathering here in Zealand, let's hold court. It's been a while. Here, petitioners. Gesture for the first in line to approach. Here comes Jarl Torbrandur Dagson. He is a strong vassal in Norway. My lord, my steward Jarl Torbrandur takes the floor. I have an idea to improve taxation. You could send surveyors to question your subjects about every property, its name, owner, extensions and value, and how many people and animals live there. But numbers are boring, complains my Riksgård mayor. Let's dance instead. I like mayor. Where's mayor? Oh, there she is. She's my Riksgård and my court jester. But numbers are boring. Let's dance instead. I second that. I haven't read though. I can say proceed the survey, or if I want to improve taxation, I can just ask for more taxes, or I can say indeed, let's dance the evil numbers away. And obviously, I will go for this one. Since it is a roleplay, had my character Starkadr here been an extremely boring man who also liked crunch numbers and question his subject about every property, its name, owner, extension and value and so forth, I would have seen that I had no option but to go with Jarl Torbrandur's suggestion to do all this boring stuff. But here sits the king, and he really likes Mare. I think he is really impressed with her learning. Most people think her a lunatic, but the king, he I think he understands why other people think that she's a lunatic. But he himself thinks that she's brilliant, and this is one of the most brilliant suggestions he had heard in a long time. Indeed, let's dance the evil numbers away. That's what I like to do in real life as well. Let's go with dance. Let's dance. Put on your red shoes and dance. Sorry about that. 80s David Bowie. There we go, we danced. You shall dance. Here comes Duke Rodolfo. Oh, he's this Accra Duke from Holland. I'm trying to improve his opinion of me. He's my chancellor, and I'm swaying him to make him like me better. But he stands before me, his face grave with concern. My lord, the threat of West Francia weighs heavy on my mind. King Louis looms across the border, he points, only days from the gates of Middelburg and House Akela's hearts. You must help fortify my lands. Hollanders, soldiers and fortifications are all that stands between Sweden and ruin, he says. Well, he is right that West Francia is a strong, Christian, hostile kingdom that we are keeping our eye on. And we are sending our raiders there at this very moment to weaken them. But maybe he has a point anyway. Let's see. I can spend some gold to fortify Holland. It's really not good to hold court when you're this low on gold. Alright, let's do this diplomacy challenge and reassure Rodolfo that West Francia is no threat. We are dealing with the situation. And that is in part true. If I have had the gold, I would have helped them fortify, but I trust in our fighting men that if West Francia comes knocking, we can beat them. And I will convince Rodolfo that this is the case. And here comes a wandering man, Vagn Scarf. Over the last few days I have heard tell of a mighty hero of the peasantry, who has won the hearts and minds of the common people through incredible deeds and matchless bravery. This hero, who goes by the name Vagn, has been defending the smallfolk from the Norse raiders, and has now travelled away to Lödöse to seek an audience with me. There is no doubt that Vagn is a great hero. However, my court are adamant that I do not elevate a commoner beyond their station. So here comes a great fighting man, who I can pay to give him a place in my household, or give him a county held by Jarl Ketil, or honor him, paying him even more gold, or say you are an impertinent peasant, nothing more. I don't want to go for this last one here. There's no real need for me to imprison him. He's obviously a great fighter and a good commander. What do I think of this Jarl Hildursson? He's my vassal, but I don't really like him. He's also kinslayer, murderer, reclusive. We don't really have... I think we have a kind of neutral opinion of his house. I seem to... Didn't he do something against me last episode? I seem to remember that I was annoyed with him in the last episode. And I'm also an impatient man, so I would pay him 50 to have him join my court, or I would give him this county as a reward for his services, because he has been using his skill to defend our lands from other Norse coming to raid us. And I'm annoyed with Jarl Ketil here, who is currently holding Östergötland, so I will give him this land. Conclusions. My business here is done. So let's take a look at what happened with Östergötland. He is now a direct vassal of me, and not of the Jarl of Östergötland. He really dislikes me now, and I really can't blame him for it. But Östergötland is mostly holding lands in Småland now. And they, House Njudunge and House Ulfing, are old enemies. So maybe now is the time for House Njudunge to take back their lands here. And maybe we shall see House Scornful rise as a a new great house here in Östergötland. Let's see, we shall keep an eye here on this Chieftain Vagn. He might be an interesting guy to follow. Chieftain Vagn of House Scornful. For the storytelling purposes, he is cynical, arrogant, and brave. He's a strong man, brilliant strategist, rough terrain expert, and an unyielding defender. He will definitely come in handy as a commander and a champion. I will make sure that he fights by forcing him to fight as a champion in my army. I will allow my son and heir to fight. I will not force him to. So this should mean that it is his decision if he wants to go with the army or not. So let's see what becomes of this here. That's an interesting development for sure. Some internal strife in the Dutch of Bergslagen looks like. It's their business. Can I raise tribal authority? Yeah, I will raise tribal authority again because my father refused to do it because he was an anarchist at heart. But Starkadr, being raised a prince in the kingdom, sees things in a different way, so he will pass high tribal authority law, which means that he can revoke titles and retract vassals. His vassals will have a slightly lower opinion of him for this, but it's still worth it to do this. Dear brother, how many wars have I had to defend you in? Here is Duke Joan of Barcelona rebelling for independence. I will accept. Are these still the raiders? I hope they are, because I want to go and do a swift raid before I go help my brother. I will go help my brother. No, they lost the raiding flag. I suppose that there would be too much abusing game mechanics you could do if you could have your armies flagged as raiders while in a war. But I kind of understand why they don't let you have your armies raiding when you're in a war, but at the same time I wish that they would have let me go raid Paris and then go help my brother, but that is not the case. They lost the raiding flag, so I'll have to go help my brother. Let's go to Barcelona. This might be the worst decision I've ever made in CK3. Putting him on the throne here without giving him enough of a power base first that he could defend himself. Because I'm really getting bored of this, but it's because I played into King Starkadr's impatient trait. It never pays to be impatient in real life. There's a lesson for you kids. Always take the time to consider the consequence, plan accordingly, look at the circumstances, and then make your move. Never act rash, because you will always, if you act rashly, you will always have a lot of chores and more work than necessary ahead of you. If you just spend some time thinking about the situation, then it's really a lazy thing to do, to spend some time first. Lean back, take a look at the situation, take a look at circumstances, then act. That's what a lazy person does, because he knows that acting rashly and impatiently only leads to trouble and chores ahead. Here comes this Accra Duke. He wants to pay homage. I will show him in at once. I bid the Duke arise, confirming my satisfaction and Rodolfo's rights to the lands he ruled in my stead. I accept your generous gift. And here's this, my other ally, the Chief of Volin, asking me to help him attack the Chief of Prussia, High Chieftain Ulinix of Prussia, of House Wilks. It looks like he can handle this himself, but I will join his war. He helped me securing the throne of Polabia for my nephew. My nephew couldn't hold on to it, but that's not the Chief of Volin's fault. His son learned Dutch. That is good, I suppose. Loyalty or fear? As their king, my vassals owe me their allegiance. My word is law, but how much is obedience without devotion worth? In times of crisis, a slow response or a half-hearted effort can lead to disaster. Can I afford such risk? So here's Chieftain Vagn of Östergötland. He's the guy that I just gave this land to. And here's King Gilbert of Lotharingia. I can say I will win their unwavering loyalty, decreasing their taxes. Or say fear is a more effective tool. Or I have more important men to impress and try to impress this King Gilbert. No, yeah, let's lower their taxes and have them like me more. He's going to go crush my brother there, but I have landed in Barcelona. Let's split off a siege army and put a siege commander in charge if I have one. I had 2 last I checked. Yeah, here's Jarl Erik Bodson. Have him take charge of the siege. And let's do some other sieges while we're at it with some levies. Go there. And you go there. Oh, Chief of Volume 1 as predicted. Brother. At least he has... Oh, this is good. Finally he has done something. Now I will help him with less sighing and owing now, because now he has secured himself a jarldom and some more counties, and he has increased his power here in France. So that is really good. That's what I've been waiting for. That's why I've been helping him in all these wars, in the hope that he would strengthen his own position so that at some point he can actually rule these lands himself. But here he is in a war against the Duke of Anjou, who is attacking him for jarldom. I will join this as well. Questionable concoctions. Who are these? It's Einar, my court tutor and court physician, and Starkadel Botildersson, my champion. Oh, it's this one. Einar here comes to me with a potion that he says will give me strength. There's a 1% chance that I die, 68% chance that I get feeling unwell and stress. I can go with only Odin grant of strength, but it wouldn't be fitting for me as a cynical. Or I can say this will isn't fit for beast, let alone a man. But being gluttonous and impatient, I think he will go for this. There's a chance that this will give me increased strength, and what's the worst that can happen, right? What happened? Oh yeah, I got this strong potion. It gave me a health boost and increased my prowess. That's great. I was expecting it to give me the penalty, because that was 68% chance, but it's good that it didn't. So let's leave some siege forces here and go do battle with my brother's enemy with our elite force. Oh, and I had this new perk for my diplomacy. Befriend scheme power or thicker than water. I will go with this. Do I have any friend? Yeah, I have my sister and my brother and this chieftain Magnus. Can I befriend people, I wonder? Let's befriend Mare. That's fitting. She is developing into the most important person in the storytelling. So we shall be friends with her. And she made us dance instead of doing numbers. So there was a white piece. That was quick. Between my brother and this Duke of Anjou. I suppose that is good, but we could have beaten him easily. Here comes my army to do battle with them. We are catching them here and we are winning decisively. There's some head ripping and champions killing champions going on. Someone is plotting to kill Gerard. He's my Dutch antiquarian, who's also Mare's husband. Sadly, Mare never got without any children. I think she's old to have them now. I wonder if there are any living... Yeah, there are a lot of living members of House Munzer. Some of them are of other houses. She's the only one, it seems, of the original House Munzer. She has a lot of relatives, but not really of the original House Munzer here. That was the house of the first king of Sweden. But someone is plotting to kill him. It might be the same plotters that are going after Mare. We must stop the villain behind this. Let's go and see if we can catch them again. Yeah, looks like we can. That's good. We now got a lot of war score. I can ransom this count. Let's do it before he's released in a piece. That's great. We helped our brother again. Let's stand down our armies. Before the war, I looked at my brother's numbers here, and it said he had 2,000 men. He must have lost them in a war, yeah, because he can get 2,068 men. But it's good that he has strengthened his position here now. Maybe he can hold on to the throne. If I were him, I would really look into converting to Catholicism, because then he could get those other vassals to vote for him. But he has another ally now, the King Leofric here of the Danelaw. He's a decent ally, so maybe he can hold his own. I hope so. It's been a long time since we held a Blut, and I think it's about time for us to do it. I don't think that King Starkadr, he's never held a Grand Blut, so his father did once. Being cynical, man, they aren't desperate to do it, but he is listening to Mare, our Riksgårdi, realm priest, and she is telling him that we need a Grand Blut to honor the gods. And also he likes a good party, and a Blut is always a good party, right? So let's go and do this. It's high time that all Sweden comes together to make sacrifice to the gods. These rituals not only bind the faithful together, they confirm my place as king of all the lands. In that rebirth. Every lord and commoner in the kingdom is invited. We will spare no gold on this. But while we're having Blut, why not raise our raiders? Because we were gonna go raiding before our brother needed our help. Is France still in this war now? They defeated Flanders. So we shall go raid our old friends the Britons again. Freedom and friendliness, it's an event with Mare. She is concerned for one of my prisoners. She would have her acquaintance Mare released. No wonder they have the same name. A cheap way of winning Mare's good graces. Of course I will release Mare. She is a novice physician, mastermind philosopher. Do I have anyone I can marry her to in my court? No, not really. I mean, my sons, but I won't marry her to them. And she's in Barcelona now. Whatever is she doing in Barcelona? Or maybe she went there to serve my brother. That's likely. So Mare, she went to Duchess Fulcrade's court on my brother's behalf, probably because she's a Norse Asatru. So yeah, she probably went down there. And maybe our Riksgårdi Mare sent her there. That's part of her plan. That's something to consider. Mare sent Mare to Barcelona. That's interesting. I will have to keep an eye on this Mare. See what she is up to. And our Blut is on the way, and our raiders are on the way to our old friends Brittany. King Erbsen here, he is getting old. but we haven't paid him a visit in a while. Oh, here's Mayor again. After long thinking, I finally decide to invite Mayor to come on a tour to one of my estates in Morum. Unfortunately, the journey turned out to be a disastrous idea. Mayor was ill prepared, and every time I tried to lighten the mood, she responded only with furtive malcontent. So I didn't manage to make Mayor my friend. Sturka comes of age. It's my son. He only became a tough soldier. He's a decent man, but not the best character. Can I send you to the Varangian Guard? Yeah, it would cost me a lot of prestige, but he should go there and make a name for himself. Here comes my raiders. What happened? When can you get your realm in order, brother? Here's some Occitan Catholics rising up. I will accept your call to war. Look here, all my raiders. I really regret putting him on the Aquitaine throne. I'm so bored. And what happened to my Blut? Actually looks like they are raiding this time. So Jarl Åsbjörn died. He was my master of the horse. He was House Njudunga, the Jarl of Småland. And now it's Jarl Ingebjörg who rules Småland. She's married to a Närking and not in a matrilineal marriage. Yes, maybe in a matrilineal. Yes, she has a matrilineal marriage, so House Njudunga's future is secured for now. They have been the rulers of Småland since the beginning. We subjugated them and took the Jarldom from them, but Starkadr gave them back the title, the Jarl title. But I need a new counselor, a marshal. Who shall this be? It looks like... Yeah, here's this chieftain Vagn of House Skalfur that I released. I will assign him as a marshal. What happened to my Blut? It should be going on, right? So I managed to get some loot here at least, so let's go deliver it, and then we will have to go to Aquitaine again and help my brother out. But I think I will end this episode here. Our raiders are going home, and hopefully we will have a Blut. I hope it didn't... maybe it got cancelled because of this war. But whatever, whether next episode will start with a Blut or not, next episode will start with our raiders going home, and then we will go down to Aquitaine and bail our brother out for... I've lost count on how many times we've bailed him out. Well, like I said before, at least he's starting to look like someone who can actually rule a kingdom, but nevertheless it is annoying. But we will see about all that in the future, and if you are interested in the future, you will encourage me to keep on uploading to YouTube and doing this role-playing and storytelling stuff if you subscribe and if you like my videos. So consider doing that, and thank you for watching this one. Goodbye.